Diddy's son, Christian, aka King Combs, is now being sued.
Lawsuit filed against Diddy's son.
They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Diddy. It's King Combs.
It's looking like Diddy groomed his son to be a younger version of himself. The latest Combs to face a sexual assault charge is his son, Christian. The lawsuit being slapped on King Combs alleges some heavy stuff on a luxury yacht.
The lawsuit includes photos of a bruised forearm, allegedly the victim's.
And like a snowball effect, it's lawsuit after lawsuit for the Combs family. Diddy's lawyers have got their hands full as the allegations keep on coming, and to be honest, none of it is looking good for Diddy.
Sean Diddy Combs' empire is on fragile ground.
At this point, he should kiss his legacy goodbye because it's all crumbling, and at a fast rate too.
Then
freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
King Combs' sexual assault charges. Just like his father, Christian has been accused of sexual misconduct and abuse of power.
But what is really striking is some of the crossover and similarity between this lawsuit and the lawsuit that was filed against Diddy by Lil Rod, filed against Diddy and Cuba Gooding Jr.
In the recent lawsuit, Grace O'Marseille claims King Combs committed acts of sexual assault in a 2022 incident on a yacht.
Rapper Diddy is named in another civil lawsuit, but this time it is his son that is the main defendant. A woman accuses Christian King Combs of sexually assaulting her on a yacht.
The serene blue waters and the opulent lifestyle associated with yachts often symbolize escape and luxury. Yet for Grace O'Marseille, her experience aboard a chartered vessel in late December 2022 was anything but idyllic. The yacht, a floating palace of indulgence, became the setting of a lawsuit that has sent ripples through the entertainment industry. At the heart of this legal maelstrom is Christian Combs, the 26-year-old progeny of Sean Diddy Combs. Grace O'Marseille, a steward on the yacht, envisioned a work environment filled with star-studded events and high-profile guests. Instead, she alleges it transformed into a den of hedonism where she became the victim of sexual assault. The lawsuit, filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, paints a harrowing picture of a night where professional boundaries were crossed and personal safety was compromised. Christian Combs stands accused of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and infliction of emotional distress. His father, Sean Combs, is also named in the lawsuit for premises liability and for allegedly aiding and abetting his son in the purported assault. The response from the Combs camp was swift and unyielding. Aaron Dyer, the attorney representing the father and son, dismissed the lawsuit as lewd and meritless, attributing it to manufactured lies and irrelevant facts. In stark contrast, Tyrone Blackburn, the attorney for O'Marseille, decried the actions of Christian Combs, suggesting a disturbing pattern of behavior reflective of his father's alleged past. The lawsuit alleges a sequence of events that turned a supposed wholesome family excursion into a night of fear and violation for Grace O'Marseille. The narrative begins with the arrival of Christian Combs, who, according to the lawsuit, was heavily intoxicated and fixated on O'Marseille with an inappropriate intensity. The suit claims that Combs pressured her into consuming shots of tequila, which she suspected were spiked, as her sense of fear escalated alongside the potency of the alcohol. The allegations detail a chilling progression of unwanted advances. O'Marseille describes how Combs groped her legs, despite her protests and attempts to leave. The lawsuit includes transcriptions of audio recordings purportedly capturing O'Marseille's clear refusals and Combs' persistent demands. These recordings, allegedly made by a producer present at the time, are presented as key evidence supporting her claims. The response from the yacht's crew to O'Marseille's complaints is described as dismissive and retaliatory. The lawsuit contends that the yacht captain did not believe her account and failed to conduct an investigation, ultimately leading to her termination from employment months later. The lawsuit against Christian Combs unfolds against a backdrop of mounting legal scrutiny surrounding his father, Sean Diddy Combs. The elder Combs, a figure who has long commanded the spotlight, is now under the glare of a federal sex trafficking investigation. This inquiry has led to a series of raids on Combs' properties in Los Angeles and Miami, where federal agents with Homeland Security investigations executed search warrants, seizing guns and phones as part of the investigation. The search, carried out on March 25, 2024, is a thread in a complex tapestry of allegations that have been woven over time. Sean Combs has faced accusations from multiple individuals, including claims of sexual assault, sexual trafficking, and other criminal activities. While one lawsuit has reached a settlement, others remain unresolved, casting a shadow of suspicion over Combs. Adding to the gravity of the situation, a producer who worked for Combs has come forward with his own allegations, claiming he was sexually harassed and coerced into facilitating illicit activities. This producer's testimony suggests a pattern of behavior that extends beyond the confines of the Combs household, implicating implicating the music mogul in a network of alleged criminal conduct. As the waves of this scandal continue to crash upon the shores of public consciousness, the lawsuit against Christian Combs and the federal investigation into Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The allegations have cast a long shadow over the Combs legacy, challenging the perception of celebrity and power in a world where fame often shields the elite from scrutiny. The lawsuit stands as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities service workers face in environments dominated by wealth and influence. Grace O'Marcaig's allegations against Christian Combs, supported by audio evidence, have not only ignited a legal battle, but have also sparked a conversation about safety, consent, and accountability in high-profile social settings. Meanwhile, the broader implications of the federal investigation into Sean Combs loom large, with the potential to unravel a complex web of alleged criminal activity that extends far beyond a single lawsuit. The entertainment industry watches with bated breath as each development unfolds, knowing that the outcomes could have far-reaching consequences for how it addresses and prevents abuse within its ranks. The events leading up to the alleged assault began around December 28, 2022, when O'Marcaig learned that Christian Combs would be part of the yacht party to record music with producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones in a makeshift studio on board. Despite staying at a shoreside villa, Christian frequently visited the yacht in the evenings to join his father. On the night in question, O'Marcaig claims Christian arrived intoxicated and directed unwelcome attention towards her, pressuring her to consume tequila shots which she feared had been spiked, based on her subsequent feelings of fear and intoxication. The situation reportedly deteriorated when Christian Combs began to physically assault O'Marcaig, touching her inappropriately despite her clear and verbal objections. This purported assault was not only witnessed, but also audio recorded by Jones, the music producer present at the time, as part of his alleged obligation to document Sean Combs' activities. These recordings, which contain O'Marcaig's protests and Christian Combs' responses, are cited as key pieces of evidence in the lawsuit. The narrative within the lawsuit describes a harrowing sequence of events where O'Marcaig was cornered in the yacht's cinema, which doubled as a sleeping area. Here, Christian Combs escalated his advances, attempting to force O'Marcaig into performing oral sex on him, leading to a struggle that left her with physical bruises. This alleged assault was interrupted only when another individual entered the room, allowing O'Marcaig the chance to escape. This lawsuit paints a vivid picture of a young woman subjected to an alleged series of assaults in an environment where she was supposed to work safely. The detailed allegations, supported by audio recordings and physical evidence of injuries, underscore the severity of the accusations against Christian Combs and contribute to an ongoing conversation about consent, power dynamics, and accountability in high-profile social settings. The aftermath of the alleged assault on O'Marcaig by Christian Combs, as described in her lawsuit, goes beyond the immediate physical harm, profoundly affecting her mental health and both her professional and personal lives. The day following the alleged incident, O'Marcaig took the step of reporting the assault to the yacht's captain, only to be met with disbelief. Not only did the captain fail to initiate any form of investigation into her claims, but the lawsuit also alleges that he retaliated against her. This retaliation reportedly continued until O'Marcaig was terminated from her job in May 2023, further compounding her trauma. The psychological toll of the alleged assault and the subsequent dismissal from her job has been severe. According to the lawsuit, O'Marcaig suffered from anxiety and panic attacks, along with experiencing severe suicidal ideations, indicating a significant decline in her mental health. The emotional turmoil is said to have manifested physically as well, with O'Marcaig developing an eating disorder and epileptic seizures, which she attributes to the assault and its fallout. In seeking unspecified damages, the lawsuit not only aims to address the harm done to O'Marcaig, but also seeks to highlight the broader issues of accountability and the need for victims to be heard and believed. Rodney S. Diggs, O'Marcaig's attorney, emphasized the importance of her decision to come forward, stating, "I am here to fight for those who can't fight for themselves, and I applaud Grace for being so brave to come forward with her truth." Diggs expressed hope that O'Marcaig's story would encourage others who have experienced similar trauma to speak out, underscoring the lawsuit's intention to serve as a catalyst for change and empowerment for victims of assault. The Combs: History of Sexual Assault.
The first of those came from singer Cassie Ventura, known as Cassie, who accused Combs of sexual abuse and sex trafficking during the decade they were together. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas spoke exclusively to a longtime friend of Cassie's who said she witnessed some troubling incidents.
In November 2023, the music industry was shaken by serious legal allegations against Sean Combs. Cassie, an R&B singer who had previously been signed to Combs' label and was also known for her long-term romantic relationship with him, filed a lawsuit in federal district court in Manhattan against Combs. This legal action brought to light distressing claims of a decade-long relationship riddled with control, abuse, and violence.
R&B singer Cassie has accused hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of rape and a decade of physical abuse. The two were romantically involved for years, but in a lawsuit made public today, Cassie says there was a pattern of control, drug use, and forced sexual encounters.
In her lawsuit, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, detailed a harrowing account of her experiences with Combs that began shortly after their meeting in 2005, when she was just 19 years old. Ventura's allegations against Combs included him drugging her, physically assaulting her, and coercing her into sexual acts with male prostitutes while he filmed these encounters. One of the most alarming accusations involved an incident in 2018, towards the end of their relationship, where Combs allegedly forced his way into Ventura's home and raped her. Ventura, after years of what she described as living in silence and darkness, decided to file the lawsuit as a means of speaking out about her ordeal. Through her public statement, she expressed a desire to share her story, both as a form of personal catharsis and as an advocacy effort for other women enduring violence and abuse in their relationships. In defense, Combs' lawyer Ben Brafman vehemently denied the accusations on behalf of his client, describing the lawsuit's claims as offensive and outrageous. Brafman also accused Ventura of attempting to extort $30 million from Combs by threatening to write and publish a damaging book about their relationship if her demands were not met. He characterized Ventura's lawsuit as a continuation of these alleged extortion attempts, dismissing the claims as baseless and outrageous lies aimed at damaging Combs' reputation for financial gain. This lawsuit against one of the music industry's giants brought serious issues to the forefront, highlighting the difficulties victims face in confronting experiences of abuse and exploitation, especially when the accused holds significant power and influence. Douglas Wigdor, representing Cassandra Ventura, revealed that discussions had taken place prior to the lawsuit's filing against Sean Combs. According to Wigdor, Combs attempted to prevent the lawsuit from being filed by offering Ventura a substantial sum in the 8 figures range to keep her silent about her allegations. Ventura, however, chose to reject this offer and proceed with the legal action. Ventura's lawsuit emerges amidst a wave of similar civil suits alleging sexual assault within the music industry, targeting several high-profile figures including Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, executive L.A. Reid, and Neil Portnow, the former president of the Recording Academy, which is known for the Grammy Awards. While Portnow has denied such accusations, there has been no response from Tyler and Reid. Known by several monikers throughout his career, including Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love, Combs is arguably one of the most influential music executives of his era. The lawsuit, however, portrays him in a starkly different light, alleging not just repeated assaults on Ventura, but also claiming he engaged in extreme behavior, such as asking Ventura to carry a firearm in her purse and being implicated in violent acts against a romantic rival and a friend of Ventura's. The legal documents extend beyond Combs, implicating additional defendants who are accused of aiding him in exerting control over Ventura. This includes allegations of threatening her career to ensure compliance and aiding in concealing his alleged misconduct. The lawsuit, naming Combs and several of his business entities as defendants, seeks unspecified damages for the claims presented, highlighting a deeply troubling aspect of the music industry's culture and its treatment of women. Ventura's relationship with Combs began soon after she joined Bad Boy Records, quickly escalating into a dynamic marked by excessive control. Combs' alleged actions range from financial dominance, including paying for Ventura's living expenses and even accessing her medical records, to a troubling level of surveillance and control over her personal life. Ventura's suit detailed an incident where an MRI scan, potentially needed due to drug-induced memory loss or physical abuse by Combs, was directly sent to him, highlighting an invasive level of control over her health and well-being.
Because I could see that she was like really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her like high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset.
The lawsuit also depicted Combs as a provider of drugs to Ventura, encouraging her consumption of ecstasy and ketamine, among others, and often resorting to violence when under the influence. Ventura cited fear of retaliation as a reason for not going to the police, painting a picture of a relationship defined by intimidation and fear. A particularly violent episode in 2009 was highlighted, where Combs allegedly assaulted Ventura for interacting with another talent agent. According to Ventura, the aftermath involved being secluded in a hotel to recover, further isolating her and demonstrating the extent Combs would go to maintain control. Ventura's attempts to escape this environment were met with aggressive efforts by Combs to reel her back in, using his employees as conduits for this manipulation. One of the more sinister allegations involved Combs threatening violence against Ventura's acquaintances, such as rapper Kid Cudi, with whom Ventura had a relationship. Ventura's claim was supported by Kid Cudi, who confirmed an incident where his car inexplicably exploded. The suit also detailed Combs' coercion of Ventura into to participating in freak-offs or sexual encounters with male prostitutes for his voyeuristic pleasure across various locations. These events, marred by drug use and non-consensual filming, led Ventura to accuse Combs of sex trafficking, among other charges. The lawsuit narrates multiple instances where Ventura tried to leave Combs, including a harrowing episode in 2016 involving physical assault and vandalism in a hotel, purportedly captured by security cameras. Combs' alleged attempt to buy the footage for $50,000 was cited as an effort to erase evidence of his abuse. In a climactic recount, Ventura described a forced entry and rape by Combs in 2018, marking the end of their tumultuous relationship. Ventura has since moved on, marrying Alex Fine and starting a family, while distancing herself from Combs and Bad Boy Records. Ventura's lawsuit against Combs seeks to address and redress years of alleged abuse, violence, and manipulation. It places Combs in the context of a music industry grappling with its treatment of women, shedding light on the profound impacts of such dynamics on victims' lives and careers. Like Ventura, other women have spoken up about their abusive relationship with Diddy. One of such women is Liza Gardner. Liza also filed a lawsuit against Diddy shortly after Cassie's lawsuit was settled. The lawsuit that cast a long shadow over the previously unblemished reputation of the music magnate unfolded a narrative that contradicted the well-curated public persona of Combs. The genesis of this controversial chapter was an event hosted by MCA Records, marking the initial encounter between Combs and Liza Gardner, the plaintiff. Alongside a companion, Gardner found herself mingling with Combs and Aaron Hall, a member of the R&B ensemble guys, celebrated for their heartfelt melodies and harmonious renditions. The gathering was quintessentially industry-centric, brimming with the excitement of forging new alliances and the allure of prospective ventures. As the night advanced, the ambiance morphed into something more personal and intimate. According to the lawsuit, Combs and Hall's interactions with Gardner and her friend became noticeably flirtatious and overly familiar, punctuated by the offering of drinks as the evening unfolded. This congenial atmosphere seemed to lay the groundwork for the subsequent invitation by Combs and Hall to Gardner and her friend to continue the celebration at Hall's residence, an invitation that was warmly received. The lawsuit alleges a sudden and disturbing change in the atmosphere, from celebratory to coercive, upon their arrival. Gardner claimed that she was plied with more alcohol and in her impaired state was pressured into engaging in sexual activities with Combs. The account detailed in the lawsuit reveals a narrative dominated by manipulation and control, leaving Gardner to recount feelings of shock and trauma following the encounter. The distressing experience did not conclude with this incident. The lawsuit further accuses Hall of forcefully engaging in sexual activities with Gardner after Combs had vacated the premises, suggesting a premeditated and calculated exchange between Combs and Hall, with Gardner's friend also suffering from sexual assault that night. The severity of these allegations is intensified by the claim that Combs, in a subsequent confrontation filled with rage, physically assaulted and choked Gardner until she became unconscious. The lawsuit intimates that Combs' aggressive behavior was driven by panic at the possibility of Gardner's friend disclosing the night's events to the woman Combs was seeing at the time, casting a dark shadow over Combs' legacy. The introduction of the New York Adult Survivors Act marked a pivotal change in the state's legal landscape, offering a ray of hope to those burdened by the memories of sexual assault for years or even decades. This landmark legislation created a one-year window, allowing adult survivors of sexual assault to file lawsuits against their assailants, regardless of when the assault occurred, thus challenging the previously stringent statute of limitations that often precluded survivors from pursuing justice due to the elapse of time. It was against the backdrop of this legal revolution that the lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs found its footing. Filed strategically a day before the closure of the Act's window, this lawsuit underscores the critical nature of the New York Adult Survivors Act for individuals like Liza Gardner, who have long awaited the chance to be heard and seek reparation in court. In a vehement rebuttal, a spokesperson for Combs dismissed the claims as baseless, decrying them as an egregious attempt at extortion. This statement, issued to NBC News, paints the accusations as an exploitation of Combs' celebrity and wealth, insinuating that they were concocted for pecuniary advantage. Furthermore, the spokesperson's commentary critically appraises the New York Adult Survivors Act's intentions, suggesting that it was not envisaged to be manipulated for improper purposes. This defense narrative is emblematic of the typical responses in high-profile legal disputes, wherein the accused frequently argue that their public persona renders them susceptible to unfounded allegations. The call from Combs' camp for public circumspection and withholding of judgment against unverified accusations stands in sharp contrast to the detailed narrative provided by Gardner. Diddy keeps maintaining his stance on his innocence, despite the mounting allegations and lawsuits leveled against him.
They're gonna probably be arresting me just because we want to have a good time.
The fall of Diddy's empire. In an operation that could be straight out of a blockbuster movie, Homeland Security agents, armed with search warrants, descended upon the Los Angeles and Miami homes of Sean Diddy Combs.
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs.
The raids are part of a federal investigation that has the entire nation on edge. The quiet of Beverly Hills was pierced by the roar of helicopter blades as federal agents swarmed Combs' property. Neighbors watched in disbelief as the scene unfolded, with law enforcement sources confirming the execution of search warrants at both of Combs' residences. Camera captured the intensity of the moment, with at least 2 helicopters circling above and several individuals being handcuffed near the home. The property, linked to Combs' Bad Boy Films production company and one of his daughters, became the center of a media frenzy. Simultaneously, over 2,000 miles away, Combs' Miami estate was under similar scrutiny. Agents from Homeland Security investigations, with assistance from local law enforcement, were executing their mission with precision. While his homes were being raided, Combs was seen at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport, his body language speaking volumes as he paced, phone in hand, seemingly trying to make sense of the situation. As the dust settled on the raids, Combs' legal team was quick to respond. Aaron Dyer, Combs' attorney, issued a fiery statement late Tuesday, condemning the raids as a gross overuse of military-level force. Dyer emphasized that Combs had been nothing but cooperative with the authorities. He stressed that the raids were an unprecedented ambush, suggesting a coordinated effort with the media that could lead to a hasty judgment of Combs. Meanwhile, at Miami Opa-locka Executive Airport, the plot thickened with the arrest of Brendan Paul, an associate of Combs. It was reported that Paul was taken into custody on drug charges, found with substances believed to be cocaine and marijuana candy. According to the affidavit, Paul faced 1 count each for possession of suspected cocaine and marijuana candy. After being booked into jail, he was released on bail. This development adds another layer to the unfolding drama. Adding to the intrigue, Paul is named in a lawsuit filed by Combs' former videographer Rodney Jones, who alleges that Combs is running a sex trafficking venture and that Paul acts as a mule for the mogul, acquiring and distributing drugs and firearms. The raids on Combs' homes are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader federal investigation that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms have cast a long shadow over Combs' legacy. Sources close to the investigation have revealed that federal agents from New York have conducted interviews with at least 4 individuals tied to the allegations. The gravity of the situation is palpable, with the potential for far-reaching consequences in the legal and entertainment realms. Douglas Wigdor, representing some of Combs' accusers, has publicly supported the law enforcement actions. In a statement, Wigdor expressed hope that the raids signify the beginning of a process that will bring Combs to account for his alleged actions. The legal battles have been mounting for Combs, with a settled rape lawsuit involving his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and new allegations from 3 women and 1 man. These lawsuits paint a disturbing picture of violent attacks and the creation of revenge porn. As the legal team for Combs prepares for the next steps, the world watches, waiting to see how one of the most influential figures in music will navigate these tumultuous waters. The implications of these raids are far-reaching, and the outcome could redefine the legacy of a mogul. The allegations, detailed in a legal battle that has just begun to unfold, claim a harrowing tale of misconduct and abuse of power. This lawsuit, filed in the U.S. Federal Court for the Southern District of New York, not only implicates Combs, but also his inner circle, painting a disturbing picture of the environment surrounding the creation of the Love album. The Love album, Off the Grid, was poised to be another feather in his cap, a record that promised to blend his signature style with fresh innovation. Enter Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr., a music producer whose talents were enlisted for this ambitious project. Jones Jr., credited with producing 9 tracks on the album, was part of the creative force behind the scenes, working closely with Combs between September 2022 and November 2023. Their collaboration was expected to be a meeting of musical minds, but it has since soured into a contentious legal battle. The lawsuit, a document that has sent ripples through the corridors of the entertainment world, alleges a dark side to this partnership. Jones Jr. accuses Combs of forcibly touching and attempting and/or threatening to touch his intimate areas, as well as engaging in a sex trafficking venture. The gravity of these accusations is compounded by claims of unpaid labor, with Jones Jr. stating he was not compensated for 13 months and thousands of hours of work. As the layers of this lawsuit are peeled back, the details become increasingly alarming. Not only does it target Combs, but it also names his son, Justin Dior Combs, and several entities entities under the Combs umbrella, including Universal Music Group, Motown Records, and Love Records. The stakes are high, with Jones Jr. seeking $30 million in compensation and a jury trial to hear his case. The lawsuit also includes anecdotes of Jones Jr. being introduced to high-profile individuals under distressing circumstances. One such incident involves actor Cuba Gooding Jr., who Jones Jr. claims began touching, groping, and fondling him in a studio on Combs' yacht. The complaint includes photos that purportedly show Gooding Jr. with his arm around Jones, and another image allegedly depicting Combs and Gooding Jr. in conversation on the yacht. Jones Jr. asserts that he has irrefutable evidence to support his claims, including hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings that document the alleged misconduct. These materials, he argues, capture Combs and his associates engaging in the alleged illegal activities. In response to these allegations, Combs' legal team has come out swinging. Attorney Sean Hawley, representing Combs, has vehemently denied the claims, labeling them as complete lies. Hawley asserts that Jones Jr. is a liar, seeking an undeserved payday through a $30 million lawsuit. Combs' team alleges to possess overwhelming, indisputable proof that the claims are fabricated and has expressed frustration over the lack of communication from Jones Jr.'s attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, who they claim is ignoring attempts to present this evidence. As the legal battle heats up, both sides are preparing for a confrontation in court where these allegations will be scrutinized and the truth will be sought. The outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications for Combs, his associates, and the accuser, Rodney Lil Rod. The allegations made by Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. against Sean Diddy Combs do not exist in isolation. They emerge amidst a backdrop of other legal challenges that the music mogul is currently facing. This pattern of lawsuits paints a broader picture of controversy surrounding Combs and has prompted the music industry to take a closer look at the man behind the brand. In recent months, Combs has been the subject of multiple lawsuits, including one from an anonymous accuser who alleges that she was raped by Combs and his associates when she was 17 years old. Another lawsuit was filed by his ex-girlfriend, the singer Cassie, who accused Combs of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse. This particular case was settled for an undisclosed amount just a day after the lawsuit was filed. Furthermore, in November, Joy Dickerson Neal brought forth a lawsuit against Combs, claiming she was drugged, sexually assaulted, and abused, and that she was a victim of revenge porn. These allegations, while separate from the case brought by Jones Jr., contribute to a growing narrative of legal entanglements that threaten to overshadow Combs' achievements in the music industry. The response from the music industry has been one of cautious observation. While some peers and collaborators have remained silent, others are beginning to question the culture that has allowed such allegations to surface. The potential impact on Combs' career and his sprawling business empire, which includes record labels, clothing lines, and a media network, is significant. Stakeholders and partners may begin to reassess their associations with Combs as the legal proceedings and public scrutiny intensify. Combs has consistently denied all allegations against him, and his legal team has been steadfast in their defense. However, the court of public opinion is unpredictable, and the cumulative effect of these accusations could lead to lasting damage to Combs' reputation and commercial viability. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the cards on your screen for more exciting videos like this.